Radio Ricos? Really? Is this what we're doing now? How's it going, Yatu Sabas community and YouTube? It's your boy JTomReactions, and I'm here with another edition of JTomReactions. Yo, the weekend edition. Yo, is this what we're doing now? We're championing Radio Ricos. We're still with this red button shit. Is this what we're doing? Is this what's hot on the streets now? Snitching and Radio Ricos. That's what we're doing now? Hey, before I get to this video, which is brought to us by Chillin' with Moni. For everybody in the back that hasn't yet subscribed to the Yatu Sav, yes, I'm talking to you, that hasn't yet subscribed to the Yatu Savas community. Hey, what are you guys waiting for? Just go ahead and subscribe. Do what you see on the screen, all right? Either hit this button right here in front of me, or you can scroll down, hit that subscription button, and become a part of this wonderful community. Also, go ahead and like the video because support is free. Just go ahead and do that. Also, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this situation that is currently going on in hip-hop. This Radio Rico situation that Drake fans are championing, and this alleged new red button. Okay. Also hit that noti bell wherever the fuck it is, so that way YouTube can let you know whenever I drop another video. Now, Chillin' with Moni. Ya tu sabes. Let's go. Chillin' with Moni. Ya tu sabes. You already know. Let's go.
Hey cousin, who you chillin' with?
I'm chilling with Moni.
Hey cousins, welcome back to the crib. Audio Moni here. Today officially makes day 12 of 30 days of Moni. We are
also go ahead and follow Chillin' with Moni. Go ahead and follow cousin Moni. Her page is good. She's always bringing us stuff like this. So hey, y'all go follow Chillin' with Moni. Why? Because support is free. Let's go.
On our second video of the day. So please do me a favor and smash that like button on your way in as you get comfortable. And if you are here for the first time, consider hitting that subscribe button to become a part of the family. I would love to have you as one of my new cousins. Over here, we get into the trending topics, the music, the entertainment, and a little bit of the mess and the meaning behind it all. So again, get comfortable, grab yourself a drink because we got some things to talk about. So let's talk the Federal Communications Commission, iHeartRadio, and country music, because according to professional OVO mouthpieces, an alleged Radio Rico red button is supposedly on the horizon. Because, you know, what's a day, a week, or even a month without a new narrative spin coming straight out of the embassy?
Yo, these narratives are coming out like fucking water from Niagara Falls. You see all the water coming from Niagara Falls? Those are Drake's narratives. They just keep coming out of nowhere. Where the fuck is this water coming from? Let's go.
On February 24th, 2025, the Federal Communications Commission, the agency that oversees radio and television, sent a formal letter to Robert Pittman, the CEO of iHeartMedia. And before the letter was sent, it is important to note that just weeks earlier, on February 6, 2025, the FCC had issued an enforcement advisory to radio broadcasters. That advisory specifically warned stations not to engage in covert payola practices, such as pressuring artists to perform for free or at reduced rates in exchange for favorable airplay. Sounds simple. FCC enforcement advisories aren't everyday occurrences. They are not issued weekly or monthly, but rather periodically when the commission sees troubling trends or wants to put the industry on notice. And in this case, the advisory underscored that unreported payola arrangements are violations of both the Communications Act and federal criminal law, making clear that the FCC was once again prioritizing enforcement in this area. The FCC's attention then turned to iHeart because of the iHeart Country Festival scheduled for May 3rd, 2025 in Austin, Texas. With iHeart controlling hundreds of radio stations nationwide, regulators saw the event as a test case. Did iHeart's dominance in radio come with strings attached for artists? Were performers pressured to take less money in order to secure their spots on playlists? That was the question. And in the letter had certain demands that it requested. Commissioner Brendan Carr's letter.
So all this stuff that is starting to come out as far as payola and all this stuff, like, you got to sit here. We all have to sit here and realize that this shit has been going on for a long time. It's not just because of Kendrick Lamar. It's not just because of this whole Drake snitching situation on the industry. We have to realize that this shit has been going on for years. So they've been sending this shit to radio stations all the time. This shit happens, like Moni said, periodically. Let's continue.
Demanded transparency. He asked iHeart to provide the following: a list of all artists invited, confirmed, or tentative, the exact compensation each one was receiving versus the typical fee, and whether festival participation had any bearing on airplay. Also, documentation of iHeart's corporate policies on payola and sponsorship identification, training records showing staff were educated on compliance. And the deadline was tight for iHeart to respond to. They had 10 days to respond. So it's pretty safe to say the stakes are high, right? Because payola is not just a violation of FCC rules, it can carry criminal penalties. And here's the key point: payola is illegal when someone is paid or given favors in exchange for airplay or promotion, and that arrangement is not disclosed to the public. The law requires transparency so listeners know if what they're hearing is actually influenced by money or hidden deals. If the FCC found violations, outcomes could range from heavy fines to sanctions against iHeart's broadcast license. This inquiry wasn't just about one event. It was a message to the entire industry that the FCC was back to policing payola aggressively. So,
Again, this shit has been happening for forever. They send this shit to everybody. The FCC, they send that shit to everybody.
iHeart Country Festival went ahead on May 3rd, 2025 as planned. No public boycotts, no cancellations, no enforcement action that weekend. iHeart maintained publicly that festival participation had no impact on airplay, and they said they complied with the FCC's request. But as of September 2025, there's been no public resolution. There's been no fines announced, no sanctions, no published findings. The FCC's probe remains open. Remember, this letter was initially sent back in February. So as of today, September, there's been no update, basically. Now, outside of the regulatory world, a new storyline has emerged. On the new Rory and Mal podcast, the host floated the idea of a Radio Rico, a metaphor for a potential industry-wide crackdown, framed like the Rico cases we've seen before in hip-hop, right? Mal, who's often viewed as a voice box for Drake's perspective, and Rory appeared to be connecting the FCC's inquiry to a new discovery they are branding as a Radio Rico. It appears they are tying it directly to the infamous Red.
Remember, these narratives come out flowing like fucking Niagara Falls. There's a narrative over there. There's a narrative over there. There's a narrative over there. And there's another motherfucking negative narrative over there. You get a narrative. You get a narrative. Everybody gets a narrative. This is why we have to take everything with a grain of salt. Even with me. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm not just saying these people. I'm saying everything you hear in the internet, you just take it with a grain of salt. And until we get the proof, that's when we have to sit here and be like, okay, gotcha. So it's kind of like they're trying to grasp at straws to see how they can make another person look better than what they are. So here we are.
Red button Maul claims Drake has at his disposal, a supposed ability to detonate industry secrets. Maul even goes as far as saying something along the lines of, "Do you understand the red button now?" Now, the OVO coalition.
Y'all, there's no red button. Red buttons were made. Okay. Red buttons were made to distract. This is a red button. I can say this blue flashlight right here. This blue flashlight right here is going to be my red button. See what I'm saying? That song that everybody, Iceman episode 3 was supposed to be the red button. A Radio Rico, how is that a red button? And it's not even a Radio Rico if they complied. iHeartRadio complied. So what are we talking about? You guys are grasping for straws.
Wants us to believe the iHeart probe itself connects to this so-called Radio Rico, in that it proves the quote-unquote button is finally being pushed by Drake.
But it's not even by Drake. What the fuck? It was the FCC. The FCC was the one that sent out that information. The FCC is the one that sent the information to iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio complied. The FCC sent that letter to all the radio stations. They all complied. So what is it that you guys are trying to accomplish? What is the red button situation that you guys are talking about? There's no red button.
This is where the desperation really shows, because every day there's a new so-called red button that didn't exist the week before or last year.
Chillin' with Moni is saying exactly what I said. There's no red button. There never was. There wasn't with Pusha T, and there isn't with Kendrick Lamar. They're saying that so that way they can keep Drake in the media. That way they can keep Drake in people's mouths. That way they can promote Iceman episode 4 or 3, whatever y'all want to fucking say. This red button doesn't exist. Family Matters was supposed to be Drake's red button.
Here, they're scrambling to rewrite history, to manufacture some type of win, some way, somehow, as if any of it could erase the reality that Drake got his ass whooped by Kendrick Lamar in a rap battle. Lyrically, production.
That motherfucker got his ass whooped. Oh man.
wise, beat switches, beat choices, strategy, Kendrick dominated in every category.
Every
The
category.
self-proclaimed war general seasoned with preparation got dog walked from top to bottom. Yet the OVO camp
And see, this is my thing, right? In the hard part, in the fake hard part 6, Drake claims, I'll call it the fart part 6. In the fart part 6, Drake claimed that he gave and planted the information to Kendrick. And you were supposedly prepared, and that Dave Free Dave Free was the child's father, real father. But yet you're over here asking for a paternity test. If you knew this information, why are you asking for that information? If all this information you claim is real, why the fuck are you asking for the information? If you planted all that shit, why are you suing in the first place? See, you guys are grasping at straws. You guys are adding shit to the straws. You guys are gonna throw the shit straws at the wall, and you guys are gonna see what sticks. That's what I've been saying this whole entire time. These narratives just keep coming out like Niagara Falls.
still clings to narratives that downplay Kendrick, his skills, and his reach, pushing the idea that Kendrick only won the battle versus Drake because of industry corruption, quote unquote. And what's pathetic about all of this is that, yes, the industry is shady, very
Shady.
fucking shady. You
Shady.
never root for the labels. Fuck UMG all day and night. But none
Yep.
of this is in good faith. It's all self serving propaganda to frame Drake as some kind of hero, when the truth is he only suddenly cared about corruption because he finally ended up on the losing side of it. And it has to be exhausting. Nearly 2 years later, they're still inventing narratives that show up one week and disappear the next week. And you know this has to be silly because even Academic on his platform is calling this entire Radio Rico bullshit. So, OVOs, I just have to ask, where do we go from here? When do the narratives
Academics is calling it bullshit. Hey, hey. Where are we going with this? Academics is calling this shit bullshit. Where are we going with this?
stop? When will you just let it play out in court? Why is it every week there's a new fucking narrative that didn't connect to the previous narrative?
You know why? You know why? And this happened with the Deshaun Watson versus all those multiple women. Whenever they're trying to get the public opinion on their side. So if they can make all these narratives to stick, if one of these narratives could stick, they would win the public opinion. And they could sway the public's opinion towards Drake. And that's what these people are here for. That's what all the other people like academics, and that's what they're there for. They're there to sway the public opinion. Drake feeds them the narrative that he wants them to spin. Your boy Aki Wacky and Maul, they all go and spin those narratives. And the public opinion then sways over to Drake's side. But what they don't understand is, with all these narratives that keep coming back and hitting them back in the face after they say it, coming back that it's false, they're losing the public opinion. And it's just not looking good for Drake.
But let's move on. Bottom line here is the FCC did send iHeart a formal letter in February over concerns of payola tied to the May 2025 festival.
Right.
iHeart denies wrongdoing and the event went forward, but the inquiry remains unresolved. And now it appears podcasts, the Rory and Mal podcast, are spinning an FCC inquiry into a Radio Rico storyline with Drake's red button theory at the center, despite no factual connection between his lawsuit and this case. Because I don't understand where else would they get this from. In short, a very real federal inquiry is underway, but the Radio Rico narrative is just commentary layered on top of it.
Right.
So, cousins, let me know your thoughts on today's topic. Do you think the FCC will eventually come down hard on radio, or will this just fade into the background? And do you buy the Radio Rico angle, or is it simply Maul keeping Drake's name attached to every industry scandal in order to appear as if he's ahead of the game? Before heading out, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will do my very best to keep y'all up to date with this story and bring you the facts if anything comes from it. Be sure to check the description for the link to join my Discord. And if you would like to support my channel directly, a link to my Cash App and my Amazon wishlist to help me build my.
Hey, y'all. Again, go support Chillin' with Moni. I appreciate that. Now, my thoughts. These narratives, again, they just come out of nowhere like the water from Niagara Falls. We already know that, there's a lake on top of the waterfall. But the way that these narratives just come out, it reminds me of that. They flow out of people's mouths like Niagara Falls. That's what it is. It is what it is. Do I believe that there's a red button? I don't. Especially after Iceman 3, no. I don't. I don't think there's a red button. I think that it's propaganda. He's trying to promote Iceman 4. So he's trying to get as much people as possible to watch Iceman episode 3. So that's why he said that there's a red button. Now they're coming up with these narratives now that the actual red button was this Radio Rico. How does that make sense? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, hey, if you guys want to go ahead and follow me, just do that what you see on the screen. Okay, just do that. And support is free. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know, do you guys think there's a red button still? After all the evidence that we've gotten that there isn't a red button? Leave it in the comment section. Also, go ahead and hit that noti bell wherever the fuck it is, so YouTube can let you know whenever I drop another video. This has been your boy JTomReactions. I am out this bitch, y'all tu sabes. You guys already know. Let's fucking go. Hey, Drake, I think the best thing for you to do is just to fade out into the sunset. I've been saying that since I first started this YouTube, and I'm still gonna get shit for it, but hey, just fade out into the sunset, my guy. Just do it.